What do I want? Well, for the two of you to die, that would be nice. Then I could relax.
When did you stop believing in God? God lives. Just look around you.
But I do believe in her. In my own way. I fear her, and I adore her. But I haven't lost my mind like you. You think that this is the work of God? Isn't this all nothing more than your own personal nightmare? Just like less than 17 years ago? If this really is the work of God, then I'd say she has lousy taste.
You mock God? Traitor. You will go to hell.
Not that again! Who do you think you are, claiming to know God's will?
Go home, Vincent.
Home. This church is my home. I built it with my power. The power of money that you view with such scorn. Although I admit that this atrocious scenery is all yours.
If you continue to get in my way...
Then you'll kill me? Well... Well... The guest of honor has arrived. Let's get this party started. Heather, go ahead and kill this crazy bitch. This demon who claims to speak for God. The time has come. You can kill her now.
You'll go to hell!
What did you do?
Nothing important.
You're not going to run? I guess this is the end.
No, the beginning. As Vincent said, the time has come. Alessa, I'm saddened that you didn't agree to this on your own. But I thank you for nurturing God with all the hate in your heart. It's time for mankind to be released from the shackles of sin which bind them.
But a God born from hatred can never create a perfect paradise.
Happy people can be so cruel. Is it so hard to believe that sympathy could be born out of pain and suffering? Why do you reject God's mercy? Why do you cling to this corrupt world? You know that only God can save us.
And save you too? Happy ending? I'd rather go to hell.
No, I don't expect to be saved. And that's fine. Alessa, my dearest. For the pain that I've caused you, I deserve no mercy. Even if it was to save mankind. It was too deep a sin. It was hubris for me to try to hasten the day of her arrival. Sacrifices were made. And those are my sins.
If you feel so guilty about it, why don't you go to hell? Heather, use the seal.
Vincent? seal of Metatron?
Now your stupid dream is over.
Oh, that's just a piece of junk. What do you think you can do with that? Do you really think it can kill God? I'm sorry to see you fell for my father's foolishness.
What?
You're pathetic. But God loves even you. Now, Alessa, there's nowhere else to run. Just accept it, Alessa. The pain will disappear. I've been waiting so long for this. Even as a child, I knew I would see the coming of this day. I knew I would be a witness to it. Judgment Day. Alessa?
Shut your stinking mouth, bitch!
Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to the final part of the Silent Hill 3 commentary. And this is probably the only part of this lengthy cutscene-filled part that I'll get to talk over, so I'll see you in a bit.
What are you doing?
Dad.
She is nearly here. Alessa, what have you done? What did you swallow? What is this?
Looks like God didn't make it. Stop!
God is...
Claudia!
Alessa, you cannot kill God. I will birth God. If you can't do it, Alessa, I will.
Claudia! Claudia! dead. I was gonna kill you. This is God?
So, holy shit, a bunch of stuff has happened and now we're up to the final boss. This is God. Word of advice in terms of battle strategy, first and foremost. Ranged weapons are your friend. If you have any ammunition left over, use it all now. I highly recommend using the shotgun, the submachine gun, and the pistol. All of them will do a decent amount of damage to it, mostly because you can keep away from God's swiping attacks and the flames, which do a pretty massive amount of damage regardless of what difficulty you're playing on, so I recommend that you keep on your toes. If you are forced to use melee weapons, my only recommendation would be to use the katana, since you can get a lot of strikes in quickly, and it is a decently powerful weapon, so again, I wouldn't recommend using something like the mace because that requires you to stand still, and God, well, can be quite the bitch, I'll just say that much. Excuse me. The only bit of trivia I can really say for God as a creature is that, again, if you might have noticed, it takes upon the appearance of a lesser Gillespie, and it looks, well, unfinished in places, which is an obvious reference to the fetal state in which it was left in before Claudia just ate its corpse. That was fucking disturbing as shit, man. Debating on whether or not I should censor that, but, you know what, maybe not. Silent Hill is meant to be a more hardcore to the extreme sort of game, so I'll probably leave it in. As a boss fight overall, it doesn't quite match up there with a boss fight against the Incubator, I think, or is it the Incubus? I get those two mixed up. From Silent Hill 1. It does a decent job, I will say, although I think the Incubus is probably a little bit better of a boss. Yeah, but honestly though, it does do the things that you'd expect from God. I mean, it shoots fire, it swipes at you. I don't really know what I was really expecting, but again, it gets the job done, and I guess you could also use the excuse that God is somewhat limited by its circumstances, so there is that, but of course Heather Mason lives up to the Mason name in being a God Slayer. Shooting down the almighty Lord. I don't know, it's a nice bit of family lineage, which you will soon see at the very end of the game. My god, this commentary went rather quickly, and I think quality-wise it has been a little bit jumbled up here and there, but I'd say overall I enjoyed my time commentating over Silent Hill 3, even if, you know, some weeks have been quicker than others, but then again that's mostly related to how the year's been overall. But again, that'll all be explained in future videos. Yeah, I thought I would have had more commentary for this, and I don't even have my handy-dandy tangents to help me out. I suppose, to pad out some time, if you recall all the way back in the intro of Silent Hill 3, where you see the Vartiel twisting the knob between those two bodies, yeah, fun little fact, that's actually meant to be psychologically representative of both Alessa Gillespie and Cheryl Mason. I don't know, I'm running out of things to say, that's horrible form. Wow. Not really too much to say with the boss. I mean, it is a very simple runaround, which is a little bit strange. I would have thought that it would have had a little bit more attacks. Like I mean, I say that the boss fight is okay, but I never really noticed how simplistic the pattern is here. Like, I mean, at the very least with Samael, you not only had to deal with its lightning attacks, but you also had, you know, the fact that you could only use ranged weapons with it, and also the little secret of, you know, the fact that if you didn't have any ammo in the final boss fight of Silent Hill 1, you just had to run around for about 5 minutes before the boss dies on its own. Which is weird. I don't know, I mean, I wouldn't exactly call God a disappointment. Well, I mean, I guess in terms of what Vincent was saying earlier, it possibly is, but yeah, as a final boss fight, I'd say it's at least serviceable. And of course, we get in the final shot, and I'll see you with the ending.
that the end? I guess it's time to roll the credits.
By the way, I just wanted to quickly chime in here, but the reason why you saw Heather turning around just then is because she actually heard a baby's cry. However, this was omitted from the final version of Silent Hill 3 because Team Silent found it too disturbing. And after listening to the file sound, I can agree with them. That's fucking disturbing, man.
Heather, is it really over?
Not yet. You're still alive.
Heather, what, Heather?
Just a joke.
You've got terrible taste.
Sorry.
Heather, did
You
you...
don't have to call me that. I'm not hiding anymore.
You want me to use your real name? What was it again?
Cheryl. The name my father gave me.
You gonna let your hair color go back too?
I don't know. Don't you think blondes have more fun?
Oh, joyous day, we get our happy ending, and we also get the nice credits of Silent Hill 1 to play over, ending the trilogy of Silent Hill for good. Oh, for fuck's sake, it's... I was debating upon replacing the credit score because I really do not like Joe Ramosa's vocals over this song. But yeah, Silent Hill 3, everybody. We've achieved the good ending, we've come to the end of our long journey, which has been delayed and been put off for several weeks for a myriad of reasons, mostly related to, you know, stuff going on in my personal life. But again, this is not the video for it, so I'll probably explain that at a later date. But yeah, Silent Hill 3. Heather is mourning Harry Mason's death, but of course she comes to accept who she really is, which is Cheryl Mason. And of course, things turn out for the best, the cult is destroyed, and this ends the... Well, I wouldn't really say it ends it, but I'd say it makes for a nice conclusion to the Alyssa Gillespie story arc. I don't know. I mean, there is still also Silent Hill Origins, which I believe came out after Silent Hill 4, so not quite done with it yet. Although I don't know if I'll ever cover Silent Hill Origins, but you never know, time will tell. I suppose, in summary, to give a bit of a clue as to what I think about the overall game, I've given out hints here and there, and I think the biggest thing about Silent Hill 3, which really has a big sticking point for me, is mostly that in the attempt of trying to be a game that ties itself back into Silent Hill 1, it does it in a way that I think does, at the very least in terms of introducing people to it, it does it in a way where Silent Hill 1 isn't that intrusive, so you don't have to play that one to completely understand everything. But at the same time though, if the stuff that it does tie into, I kind of wish it did a little bit better of a job. And this is mostly in terms of locations, like Alchemia Hospital should have been the place instead of Brookhaven. And, you know, for all the areas that they redid for Silent Hill 3, you know, like the hospital room, the school, and all that sort of stuff, I kind of wish they did a little bit more of that and a little bit less, you know, fighting around with the Hilltop Center or the sewers or the subway and all that sort of stuff. Not for nothing though, I did enjoy those areas, and, you know, they were interesting in their own right. But it also does lead to a complete lack of the disorientation feeling that you had with Silent Hills 1 and 2, which really did add to the sense of loss and atmosphere that you really had with, you know, the previous two games, which in turn did add a lot to the psychological horror that was going on within those two games. Silent Hill 3 horror-wise does it in a little bit more of a confronting way, which to some degree might be a little bit scarier to the average viewer, but to me I think it does kind of lose out in that sense of, I guess in that sense of disorientation and the fact that, because of the fact that you don't really know what you're doing and where you are, you're not as prepared as you would be otherwise. And I think by also trying to focus on the combat, Silent Hill 3 also lost a little bit in that area as well, because in trying to add in some unnecessary mechanics like, you know, the beef jerky and the body armor, a varying range of weapons to experiment with, it also did lose that little bit of, I don't know, I mean, the fact that it tried to compensate for that by making the monsters a little bit tougher to fight, I don't know, it just kind of lost me a little bit. And again, I'm not, that might just be me nitpicking, but that's honestly why I find Silent Hill 3 to be the weakest of the Team Silent era Silent Hill games. Not to say that it's a bad game by any means, because again, it does have a very strong soundtrack, it's got a very well realized set of characters with Heather, Vincent, Douglas, Claudia, and even Leonard Wolf really. Like, I mean, the cast and the voice acting and the performances are fantastic. So, you know, Silent Hill 3 has a lot going for it, but again, if I was going to play a Silent Hill game, this would probably be the last one that I'd end up picking. Also for the lack of alternative endings and a couple of things here and there that do kind of rub me the wrong way, but again, I think I've nitpicked this game to death, and ultimately it is a very solid Silent Hill game, just not my favourite out of the Team Silent era games. In fact, controversially as this might be, I would probably play some of the later Silent Hill games above this, like Shadow Memories or Downpour, but again, that's just me being, well, me really. If you haven't already picked this game up, I would recommend you pick it up. Not on the HD collection though. Get the PS2 version, or get the PS2, the original release of the PC, or the Xbox version. The HD collection is a very big no-no for a considerable number of reasons. Yeah. So that's Silent Hill 3 done and dusted. I probably will release a bonus video detailing the other alternative endings and talk about them a little bit more. But yeah, I'll probably release that around Halloween alongside the Silent Hill 3 Dissector video, which is coming, so you can look forward to that. I just need to find the time to get around to editing it. But again, that's stuff that'll come later. As for the, well, first of all we're going to go see our ranking. As soon as it loads. Come on, don't make a liar out of me. There we go. Anyway, the next game I'm going to be doing is Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, and on that note, I am Solidus-Skully, keeping new metal, and I hope you've enjoyed the Silent Hill 3 commentary. I'll see you next time, and take care. Bye-bye.
I don't always recognize